Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to the weekend. Hope you guys have all had a fantastic week. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go over to the Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4-hour. As you can see, we are currently operating within this $60,000 level to $63,500 level, $64,000 level sideways range. Obviously, it is the weekend, so you guys all know that I'm pretty much expecting just reversion to the mean sideways trading. So pretty much we could get a move up towards 63.5. We could get a move down to 60. But I wouldn't expect that level to break, and we don't necessarily even need to get up to those levels. We may get front run. We may literally just drift around where we are here. Obviously, if we do break above, especially to the upside above, I mean, we could round it up to 64,000 just because it's an easy number to remember. If we close the 4-hour above 64,000, then we will pretty much, even with it being the weekend, have to expect acceleration to the upside. Could potentially get us up to $67,000. I mean, I wouldn't expect us to break this, but you know, crazier things have happened. But nonetheless, if we do close the 4-hour above here, we have to realistically expect an acceleration into this range, and then obviously decide what we want to do here. Similarly to the downside, if we lose, yeah, 59.5 probably, as in closing a 4-hour candle below 59.5. And then into the 57, 58, so we will probably find ourselves, and well, with a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, and that point a lower high, we can realistically be looking for a lower low below this level, and that will drag us into our old range of this around $52,000 to $58,000 level, where lots of people are wanting to pick up BTC around this just north of $50,000 level. So I mean, the fact that lots of people want that, and I don't know whether they're so expecting it, whether they're hoping for it, but I mean, it's sort of an indication that we won't necessarily get there. Maybe we do break below and we get down to sort of the midpoint area around 54,000, and then get bought up from there. But that is what I would expect at max pain to the downside. Still got my tickly cough. It's not anywhere near as bad. We want to go look at some other things. First off, we'll start with the Ethereum Satoshi pairing, which is looking very constructive here. It is looking very constructive. This downward trend has clearly been broken. This looks to be the last real point of resistance that could turn us back down and make us look like we could potentially go lower, but I don't think that will happen. I think we will consolidate. Maybe we come back down and back test this 0.06869 level, but then ultimately move back up and accelerate through. It's looking constructive. It is looking like a buy the rumor, sell the fact on the Bitcoin ETF, which was driving Bitcoin relative to other things, including the much more widely used and valuable Ethereum. Can you spot my bias there? Ethereum, oh yeah, we did get all-time highs in the Ethereum USD pairing. I mean, no real fanfare for myself because I don't really care. We are crypto natives here. I mean, so what? The dollar's trash. Realistically, we are looking at crypto value, Bitcoin value. But yeah, we did hit a new all-time high, currently below it. But I mean, realistically, we will enter a fully fledged wet and wild price discovery, where we will pump to 5k, 6k, 7k, consolidate 8k, 9k, 10k, sideways 15, 20k, and then the world will be where it should be. But yeah, that's ultimately where we're going. That is the destination, the route that we take, the speed direction we take is obviously to be decided, but obviously we know where the destination is. Bitcoin dominance looking bearish here as well, looking like it is wanting to reverse and come down. So obviously we got that in favor of alts. Let's have a look at some interesting things in the in Finance 1.0, where all those Patagonia gilet type guys reside. But yeah, DXY first and formerly having a move up. A lot of this was against the euro, which is the biggest part of what the dollar trades against in this basket. But yeah, the euro, I mean, at the end of the day, we all know all fiat's trash. The dollar is trash with world reserve status and a massive military backing it, and just the incumbent. The euro on the other hand is fiat trash with no political cohesion, because it is the eurozone. The countries don't really have to care about each other realistically, and then no world reserve status either, or obviously standing military. Due to the political, just the fact that different countries. That's all I'm really trying to say. So yeah, a move. Realistically, this was against the euro. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all trash. It's all trash. If you wanna. Yeah, anyway, I've gone over this enough, but yeah, this is bouncing up. So if we do look at this move in the dollar to the upside, we do look in this move down in the 10-year as well. And this weakness still in the 10-year, obviously indicating this, or a move down in the 10-year realistically indicates risk off, but it also indicates a slowdown priced in on the horizon, or higher risk thereof, a slowdown, which is basically what is getting priced in. I mean, GDP practically zero in the US. This is anyway. I mean, I literally don't look at UK or European like markets too much. European a bit, but not UK. But yeah, whenever I'm talking about anything, I'm talking about the US. But yeah, it is. They're struggling. We are gonna basically what it comes down to is obviously the inflation. But if you just think about just the oil price, the price at pumps, I mean, that is a massive drag. We're just gonna get demand destruction from this inflation, and then we're gonna basically end up with less GDP basically, which then results in trouble in the markets, which then results in more printing, more money, more support from the Fed and their money printers, and then what happens is we just end up with just more greater wealth inequality, as assets will be held up and pumped whilst the real economy is doing. I mean, it's almost hilarious that we live in such a crazy system, a crazy Ponzi scheme, but hey, the elites are doing their best to usher in some other kind of a system, and also whilst trying to usher in some major control over the masses, because that's ultimately what they need if they do not want to go the way of Marie Antoinette and head towards the guillotine. Excuse the pun. That is literally what they're petrified of, because these guys know they've got it coming, unless they can literally get like AI and robot police to control us masses, and track and everything. And I mean, they've done a good job in demonstrating to themselves with what has been going on with the health crisis that just people are relatively stupid and compliant. So yeah, maybe they will usher in a crazy control over the masses, and they can just stay massively rich global elites, and we can just eat bugs. Basically, but yeah, wow, I completely lost my train of thought there. But yeah, so obviously in the face of a risk-off movement in bonds and dollar up, what would you expect stocks to be doing? Bam! There you go. Because obviously stocks know the score. This is obviously the preferred inflation hedge for Finance 1.0. There is no alternative. Tina, pile into the stock market. There's no alternative. It's just ridiculous. Look at this. Obviously Nasdaq as well. Look at this, guys. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. You can't make this up. This is literally, I mean, who owns all the stocks? Who owns assets? Who owns like more housing wealth value? Who owns more bond market value? Who owns more of things? The rich people. And who owns less of them, or less to none of it? The poor people. So who is it's just mad. It is mad. It is mad, and these people are fully aware of the situation. They are as aware as we are aware. They are aware more people are getting aware. How they are aware, how aware we are. I can't remember what film that is from, but are they aware how aware we are? But yeah, I think they may be, and yeah, that's why they're doing some wild stuff, with Australia probably being the testing ground. Obviously China been the testing ground for a while. But anyway, let's have a look at gold even doing nothing in the face of this. I mean, you gotta feel bad for people, but we've all made the pivot into crypto. So if you haven't made the pivot into crypto instead, and you are chasing PMs with any significant amount of money, then well, that's your own fault, isn't it? You made your bed, now you shall lie in it. What else? Not much else to look at on here, actually. Not much else. Let's have a look at stochastics then. Is the weekend, what are they gonna tell us? Are they gonna get us up to the top or the lower side of this range? I mean, 4 hour getting toppy, looking to potentially come back down at some point. The 10 hour, let's just wait for this 10 hour to load. Yeah, 10 hour still looking relatively good though. Relatively good. 12 hour obviously looking brilliant here. Daily looking to turn back up at some point, so that will look good as well, but not turn back up at this point in time, so still downwards pointing. 2 day is pointing down pretty like with a lot of room to run. Ominously looking. 3 day also. 5 day not looking bad at all though. Weekly not looking bad at all. Bi-weekly looking great, and monthly is going to turn up at the end of this month buying a close below about $57,000, which isn't out of the question actually, if they want to paint the monthly charts. But realistically, we've just when we have a bifurcation with signals, it is pretty much just indicating that we are going to basically trend sideways and consolidate, which I believe this may be the range for us for a minute, for a hot minute. $58,000 to $67,000, just bounce around here for a bit before ultimately taking that next leg up to 100k or whatever. Maybe longer term picture, we do get that sort of taper tantrum, that realization that of the demand destruction as oil prices keep climbing, because they're going to keep climbing. It is mainly policy driven, but policy is an ideologically and also a slow moving process, so it ain't about to get reversed anytime soon. So there is only up in the meantime. Obviously high prices secure high prices. At some point those nut job eco warrior crackpot types the world will lose patience with them, and they'll be like, you know what, we need more investment, we need to drill more oil wells, get more nat gas out of the ground, and then yeah, these bourgeois elites, like these guys, they are the let them eat cake people. They're basically the guys that are literally responsible for messing the world up. I mean, is it by accident or is it on purpose? Are they just stupid? Are they doing it for a greater goal of let's mess things up so we can have more control over people? Who knows? There's probably elements of everything in it. There'll be people trying to do certain things, people that are just oblivious to things. Yeah, we do live in a crazy world. You speak to anybody in their 19s or 20s, or anyone basically in their of that age, anyone that's basically around 19, 20, 21, you speak to any of them, like, they're fully indoctrinated. They talk absolute smack. They have literally no understanding of the implications of their crackpot views. Yeah, like I said, we can't realistically hold it against them. We're letting the George Soros types of the world just control the narrative. We're letting the lefty leaning people at Facebook and Twitter control the world and the narrative. I mean, these guys don't have a chance. They're just literally basically shitting out what we feed them. So what can we expect? Anyway, so there we go, guys. Remember, this is not financial, political, social, economic advice or anything along those lines. This is this is just my own views, my own speculations, my own ponderings of this increasingly messed up world that we live in. But like I said, I think the very fundamental aspect of the craziness that we live in is that there are some very rich, powerful people that have got very rich and very much more powerful, and they basically don't want to be meet with a guillotine when the revolution maybe comes. Like I said, maybe the technology is a lot more advanced now. Maybe they can avert the whole thing, and then just take us into a full Orwellian society. Who knows? If there was ever a point in history when they could do that, this is it. This is the point where they've got a good chance, of a reasonable chance. Maybe we've met make terminal velocity for that. But yeah, we shall see. But like I said, the massive underlying dynamics of everything that is going on in the big worldwide picture is the fact that these people want to stay in power. The system works well for them. The system doesn't work well for everyone else. It's now working too not well for everyone else, for it to survive and last. And they know the fingers are going to get pointed in the right directions when the dust settles. So there we go. Thanks for listening, guys. This is not financial advice. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Still got my tickly cold and my runny nose, but a lot better otherwise. So yeah, thanks for listening. I'll speak to you guys soon.